Probably the most impactful people in my life. But I'll say somebody that changed the trajectory of my life is Mr. Antoine Foreman. Like I talked to you about him a lot.
Shout out Mr. Foreman.
But my freshman year at A&T, or how I got to A&T was also a crazy story because my mom told me to apply because she's from North Carolina. She was like, you should apply to some HBCU, so I applied to Tuskegee and A&T. The morning before, it was raining. I was like, you don't really have to go. But she was like, nah, we're going. And then made me go. Loved it. I was like, I want to go here. She was like, well, I found out that they're full rides. And I was like, well, I'll apply to them. That's what I want to do. So it just like so happened that I came here. And I almost did not come here simply because it was raining before the day that my tour was scheduled. But nonetheless,
it was raining.
Nonetheless, though, I don't even remember when it was, but freshman year, we're in the honors program, or the scholarship program that we're in is through the honors college, and to be able to maintain
honors college.
Yes, shout out Dean Margaret Knipes. Doctor.
Yeah,
Margaret.
Dean Doctor. I don't know. It doesn't feel right saying her first name. So. Shout out Dean Knipes.
But to be able to be in the honors college, you have to participate in these things called honor lecture series, which is pretty much like guest speakers that are events that are put on by the honors program, honors college. So my very first one that I went to, I didn't know who was speaking. I didn't know what it was about. I actually knew that I had to do it to be able to stay in the honors program. So I went. The speaker ended up being Mr. Antoine Foreman. He ended up talking about how time is a resource and how to use that time to not only invest in yourself, but also invest in others. And it was, I think, like an hour-long lecture series.
Yeah.
But single-handedly, that hour, I think, may have been the most impactful hour of my life. Like, that changed my entire perspective of how I view living, doing anything, because you're spending time, even now we're spending time doing something. Making this podcast that will hopefully impact somebody I feel like that's a good use of the time. Okay. But literally every time I'm doing something, I always think, what can I be doing outside of this to either be furthering myself, furthering other people, or anything of that nature. Like, for example, instead of watching a 20-minute YouTube video, could I be spending 20 minutes working on creating podcast content instead of
or on TikTok instead of writing scholarship essays or
just
trying
that
to
little
find
stuff.
out how to build a water bottling company or something like that.
And all those little moments and all those little amounts of time, they literally all add up. And I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, time isn't regarded as a commodity the way that it should be.
Exactly. Like you can make money if your thing is money. You can make money as often as you want to, but time, you cannot get time back.
Yeah.
And I heard that and I understood it to a point before we had that conversation, or before he broke everything down. But after that conversation, it changed my complete perspective on how I view time. Not to say to rush anything or that you shouldn't take time to socialize or enjoy yourself, but that you have so much time, and if you're wasting that time, you're wasting the most valuable resource that you were given.
The thing that always got me about time has been people would be like, "Oh, life is short. Live it up to the fullest and all that." Life is the longest thing you'll ever do, bro. Legitimately, it's the longest thing you will ever do. And I have, let's say, another thing I probably need to talk to my therapist about on Monday is I don't think I'm going to live long. You know what I mean? 30, 40, 50 years maybe. Cool. Gas. That's just how my brain works. I only expect myself to live to 80, 90, 100 or whatever. And I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? I'm going to do the time that I can. But with that idea, I'm like, look, I got to get all of my life done. I need to get all these experiences. I want to, have to pee driving past a Wawa in Philadelphia when we were literally in Greensboro this morning. You know what I mean? With it being the longest thing that you do, have to make the fullest of every single moment. Like I want to have 80 years of experience, even if I don't think I'll make it to 80 years. You know what I mean? Like, it's just interesting. Time. I've never thought. I don't know. I think about time in a different way though.
I see it in like you can invest time in different ways. You see what life isn't a game, but I feel like I can kind of relate it to a game. Like if time is like the resource, like your currency in the game, and like you have like a social media, you have like a relationship,
like an XP,
you have like for all the different things, you're investing time into each of those things, and I feel like that's why
that's facts. That's facts.
Yeah,
that's a bar. That's a bar for sure.
And it's like being able to invest in those different things, you can, I guess, like level up, upgrade type thing. But with that, I feel like taking as many opportunities as I can and just making it happen. If I'm running from one thing to the next thing to the next thing, I feel like I'm making the most use of my time. I'm not wasting a single minute, single second of my life.
Yeah.
And
it's a comforting feeling to do that, because I know like my day was not wasted.
How long have we been on this earth? 21 years, 365 days, 7,665 days.
Yeah.
And then how many?
He's doing the actual math to find out how many days he's been on Earth.
365, 16. Oh, is it 24
hours in a day? Yeah. I have to pee so bad, bro. Oh my gosh. We are 15 minutes out, and I do not think I'm gonna make it.
It'll be fine. We've been alive for 183,960 minutes.
That's scary, bro. That's a